Saidiya Hartman, Venus in 2 acts. There was another girl on board the Recovery, whom they named Venus, and she too had the pox. When the captain was acquitted for the murder of the first girl, he was also found not guilty of the second charge. As there was no evidence to support the second indictment than was supported the first, the jury also acquitted the prisoner on it. These were the only words spoken of Venus during the trial. I wrote 2 sentences about Venus in the dead book, masking my own silence behind Wilberforce's. I say of him, he chose not to speak of Venus, the other dead girl, the pet name licensed debauchery, and made it sound agreeable. I decided not to write about Venus for reasons different from those I attributed to him. Instead, I feared what I might invent, but it would have been a romance. If I could have conjured up more than a name in an indictment, if I could have imagined Venus speaking in her own voice, if I could have detailed the small memories banished from the ledger, then it might have been possible for me to represent the friendship that could have blossomed between 2 frightened and lonely girls, shipmates. Then Venus could have beheld her dying friend, whispered comfort in her ear, rocked her with promises, soothed her with soon, soon, and wished for her a good return. Picture them. The relics of 2 girls, one cradling the other, plundered innocence. A sailor caught sight of them. Picture them. The relics of 2 girls, one cradling the other, plundered innocence. A sailor caught sight of them and later said they were friends. 2 wordless girls found a country in each other's arms. Beside the defeat and the terror, there would be these 2, the glimpse of beauty, the instant of possibility. The loss of stories sharpens the hunger for them, so it is tempting to fill in the gaps and to provide closure where there is none. To create a space for mourning where it is prohibited. To fabricate a witness to her death not much noticed. In a free state, it would have been possible for the girls to attend to the death of a friend and shed tears for the loss. But a slave ship made no allowance for grief, and when detected, the instruments of torture were employed to eradicate it. But the consolation of this vision, a life recognized and mourned in the embrace of 2 girls, was at odds with the annihilating violence of the slave ship, and with virtually everything I had ever written. Initially, I thought I wanted to represent the affiliation severed and remade in the hollow of the slave ship, by imagining the 2 girls as friends, by giving them one another. But in the end, I was forced to admit that I wanted to console myself and to escape the slave hold with a vision of something other than the bodies of 2 girls settling on the floor of the Atlantic. In the end, I could say no more about Venus than I had said about her friend. I am unsure if it is possible to salvage an existence from a handful of words. The supposed murder of a Negro girl. I could not change anything. The girl never will have any existence outside the precarious domicile of words that allowed her to be murdered. I could not have arrived at another conclusion, so it was better to leave them as I had found them. 2 girls, alone.